Welcome back to Health Daily. I'm your host, Dr. J. Today, we will talk about how minimizing cheat meals can boost your health goals. But first, like we always do, let's talk about Google Trends and what's trending in the news today. CMS tops the list today, and let's see why they're trending. Of course, money. They're giving out money grant funding in 2 different states. Let's click on the first one and see what they're talking about here. So this one is a Axios article. Grant money will fund UAMS study on how Medicaid expansion would affect maternal health. So this particular article talks about how the University of Arkansas Medical Services will receive about $17 million in funding, of federal funding, to study the impact of Medicaid expansion on maternal health in Arkansas. So this funding will be used to improve maternal health services, including training doulas, which are not typically covered right now by Medicaid. Let's go back to the trends and see what's next. Lupin. What is lupin? Let's see what lupin is. Lupin, let's pull up this article here. So lupin receives FDA approval. So lupin receives FDA approval for a new cystic fibrosis treatment, and they're granules that come in 3 different dosages that are prescribed for patients age 4 months and older with specific genetic mutations. So that's why lupin is trending. Let's see the next one, and the last one is Inside Edition. Olivia Munn. Let's check the article. So it's a video here. Let's watch about 30 seconds of this video.
First on CBS Mornings, Inside Edition correspondent Allison Hall is here. She's sharing her breast cancer battle and how actor Olivia Munn's story about her own cancer treatment may have now saved Allison's life. Munn credited a breast cancer risk assessment tool for her diagnosis and had a series of surgeries, including a double mastectomy. So in the course of reporting that story, Hall took the same risk assessment test, and she too was startled by what the doctor told her.
Your risk comes out to be 36%.
Wow. Okay. That feels high.
Yeah, that.
So comment below. Tell me what you think. Does that seem high to you? Have you taken that assessment risk? Is this something that you would be willing to take? Comment below and let me know. Let me stop here and say like, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you share this video with someone that you think can use this, whether it's family or friends. I will be sharing this with my friends. Make sure you share this with your friends. So today, let's go ahead and talk about what we came today to talk about is minimizing cheat meals to boost your overall health. So minimizing cheat meals. What are cheat meals? You know what cheat meals are. They're meals that have either excess calories, ultra processed foods, maybe things that can derail your health. Okay. So we talked yesterday about inflammation and how to avoid inflammation and improve your knee pain. Today, we're talking about maintaining a consistent diet to prevent overindulgence. So cheat meals, when they're properly integrated, so we're not saying that you can't or that you shouldn't do any cheat meals, but when they're properly integrated, they can provide psychological benefits such as greater long-term adherence and enjoyment in your diet. So this is where we talk about not doing the fad diets, not doing diets where you drop weight really rapidly, but doing diets that you can stick to. Changing from diet to lifestyle. I know we play with these definitions. You can use the word diet, you can use the word lifestyle, but understand what you're doing. You're trying to stick to something for long-term. And this is not something that's a short-term gain, and you have to retrack your steps, lose 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds. This is something that you can actually do without going back and forth. But planned cheating is an actual thing. And there's a paper from 2016 that you can look up that talks about planned cheating. And so let's talk now a little bit about glycemic index. I pulled this article up from the National Academy of Sports Medicine. The National Academy of Sports Medicine is, they have these articles that really help, and I'll send the link below so you can actually check this out yourself. But we're going to select a couple things from this article, and let me make that a little bit bigger. All right, so we can see this a little bit. So this is a glycemic index chart. So what this is showing, as you can see, blood glucose levels versus time. So high glycemic index foods, as you can see, spike your blood glucose really rapidly. And then what they don't have, and let's say your blood glucose normals are like right here, right? So let's say they're about right here, right? So you can see this spike, but then you can see if this is a real spike, that actually dips below where you are normally. So what is a glycemic index? And we'll cover that in just a second. But what I want you to see is high glycemic foods spike your food really rapidly and then drop you below your normal. Low index foods spike mildly and they may still drop you, but not as bad. This slope is a lot steeper than this slope. All right. And you can see the time in hours. So this is 0 to 2 hours. But like I said, let's see, what is the glycemic index? We can scroll this article, and I think that they still have more information in this article about glycemic index. And so these are foods in the glycemic index. But if you don't know what the glycemic index is, this is a good time to look it up. Let's see if we can find, no, we'll talk about that in just a second. But so the glycemic index basically is charted by food. So which foods spike your sugar the most? And you can see by the chart that we just talked about. And look at these examples. Oatmeal would be a 55. So anything that's generally considered below 50 or below 55 is generally considered a low glycemic index food. So those are the foods that you want more of because it doesn't spike your sugar. And the reason why the spike in the sugar is important, whether you're diabetic or not, is because if you're spiking sugar, your body has to figure out what to do with all this excess sugar or carbs in your body. So when your body is focused on storing those carbs or figuring out how to utilize those carbs, that's all your body's doing. And so if you are trying to gain muscle, lean muscle mass, lose weight, then your body is not focused on that. It's focused on the excess carbs that you just took in. And so you want to focus more on, or if I was doing this, I would focus more on lower glycemic index foods as a majority of my diet. And then you leave the higher glycemic index foods for your cheat meals. All right. So I will scroll down here because there is an interesting study that I'll drop below. This study actually showed that it also is personalized. So each individual person may respond differently to different foods. And let's scroll in here and let's make this a little bit bigger. But as you can see, so this is participant 445 in this study, and this participant 644. They eat a banana and a cookie at the same time, or they both ate a banana and a cookie in this particular study. And so participant 445, the banana actually spiked their sugar quicker than the cookie did. The cookie hardly spiked their sugar. They basically stayed in a normal range. Participant 644, the cookie spiked well beyond the 100. If we're talking about blood glucose, a normal blood glucose is between that 70 and 100. So we're well beyond that 100. And as you can see, the banana didn't do anything at all. Now, the couple questions I would have is, one is, was a banana green? Was it yellowish brown? You know, because the sugar content can slightly change depending on which banana, where the banana come from, what type of cookie. You know, there's other questions we have, but this shows you that individualized treatment is what we're looking at going into the future of medicine and healthcare. Because these two participants are different. They have different responses to the same individual items. So the whole gist of the story is to minimize to minimize cheat meals. You can look at your whole total week in a 7-day spurt, right? So you have 7 days out of the week. That means, and let's share this here. You have about 7 days out of the week. That means about 21 to 28 total meals of those 7 days. So if we break it out and we say about 3 meals per day or about 4 meals per day, that's 21 to 28 total meals. And which equals about, let's say you only take a quarter or a portion of those meals as cheat meals, 5 meals a week. That means you can take 5 meals out of your week. If you have no idea what to do and you're trying to lose weight and you're cheating every day, all day, take 5 meals out of your week and say, these are your cheat meals. Remember to pick the best thing possible when you're choosing your foods and you're selecting your foods. But if you use this formula and you're not using this formula right now, and majority of your meals are ultra processed or cheat meals, higher caloric foods, tons of maybe sugar, fats, things that your body have a long time, are hard to process, or maybe spikes your sugar, like we showed you in the glycemic index, you can use this formula to reduce your overindulgence to those 5 meals instead of, say, 21 meals per week. But that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you share this with somebody that you think can use it. I'm Dr. J again. This is Health Daily. As always, I'll see you tomorrow.